have a new project I've been working on. I'm a pretty big into fitness and health, so I wanted to, capture all the data that I've been storing on my iPhone and my Apple Watch, but actually do something about it. Right now, the Apple, the health app, you can look at the data, but you can't really add anything to it. So why better, to actually use Airtable for something like this? So this is the app I built. It's built on Airtable interfaces, and it's basically using the health data from your iPhone and analyzing it using AI to give you a little bit extra, right? So as you can see here, this is your dashboard. The way this works is you get a daily report every day, looking at your previous day's data, right? So if today is the 9th. This is looking at the 8th data. So basically it's looking at heart rate, resting heart rate variability, active calories, and then sleep time. So these are the data points that I personally care about. We could obviously add a lot more, like if you wanted to track weight and anything else that you have on the health app that you track daily, we could incorporate as well. So basically, taking these data points, we're able to basically create a report, like a little summary of how your day went, right? And then we're using ChatGPT in order to create this. As well, we also have this recovery and readiness score to kind of tell you how your body is and how hard you should work out today, that kind of stuff. So there's definitely some calculations that get done in the background that uses your resting and your heart rate variability to figure out, what your score should be. But basically, that's a good starting point to start. Below, we have some trends. So really had to hack the way the Airtable trends work in order to be able to provide this graph with the high range, the low range, and then the actual values of, in this case, my resting heart rate. Same thing for all the other units we're measuring, heart rate variability and active calories. If you can kind of see here, just a fun note here, the spike that happened here on your heart rate and then on my calories and variability, I got sick. And I was sick for a few days, and you can clearly see there that it really affected my heart rate and obviously my calories burn. The other one is sleep. So I try to do it something differently here. Instead of showing, just a graph with my sleep time, I wanted to kind of show a timeline of how my sleep actually is. From the Apple Health app, I'm able to get start and end times for every single sleep period. And so I'm able to calculate which one is the period that you're in bed supposedly, or in other words, you set your alarm to start your sleep mode to the actual sleep time. And if you see why mine is so spotty, it's just because I have a newborn and so I have to keep waking up at night. But basically, you can kind of actually see here the periods of time that you were asleep versus supposedly in bed or asleep, right? So if you go back, you can see other days, this day wasn't that great. If you keep going back, you can kind of see my, my sleep time there. We can also do a graph just like the other ones, but I wanted to do something differently with sleep just because the data is a little bit differently. We go down here, we have a calendar. So this calendar is just showing you, basically, you can look at every report for every day on this calendar. So, and I'm just highlighting that score that I talked about earlier, as a way to just kind of show you how your body was that day, right? So in this case, it was okay. If I click on it, you get a side panel here, and you can actually see more details, right? Like the actual details for that day's data, as well as that day's recommendation from the AI. If we go back to the previous month, you can see, let's do month so you can see a lot more. Yeah, you can see my entire month, and there were definitely some days that were a lot better, and then some days that were really bad. Okay, so that's the main dashboard. I also added some more customizations to this. So I wanted this app to feel more like a real app, right? Like you would get on your phone, or something you would pay for, where maybe you can customize the way this works. So here at the top, I have a little gear, representing settings. and you're able to customize and personalize your health buddy, the AI in this case. You can customize it by telling it what kind of daily suggestions you want. Do you want sleep, exercise, nutrition? For myself, I want exercise and sleep. You can also get a tone, your health body tone, and you can add other different ones as well. Have it a gym bro, but you can kind of pick something else if you wanted to try that out. Fitness level, experience, you can choose something here so that when you ask the AI for suggestions for workouts, they'll know what kind of workouts to give you, and also the workout type here. So if you're more into cardio or strength training, CrossFit, yoga, we can add a lot more here, but I just kind of started with these basic ones, so that when they suggest workouts, you will get something you like. The other one is notifications. So we can also send an email report of this daily, and you can choose the email you want to send that to. I figure you can always send it to your Airtable email, but like if you want to maybe send it to a different email you have, you can customize the email, or you can just say no email report, and then you don't need to get any emails. The other point here is the chat with a coach. So I kind of wanted to represent what would be the best way to represent a chatbot on Airtable here. So I'm able to use the comments field that Airtable provides as a way to do this. Basically, in this case, I asked it, can you give me a workout that targets legs and abs? And this is what the AI coach responded with, right? And you can kind of see here. And then we can add something else, right? So let's say, can you provide me with a recipe for a meal to recover from the workout you just suggested. And I'm gonna hit send. So the reason I'm doing it on a different text box here is because I haven't figured out how to actually trigger an automation from just adding a text a comment. So you can see here that message just got recorded here as a comment, and then it's still responding. So we'll see what the AI responds with. But yeah, there's no trigger right now on like a new comment made on Airtable. So that's why that's something I have to just kind of do here. Technically, I could have an automation that just checks for the number of comments every minute or second and kind of do it that way, but that seems very inefficient. So here we go. It responded with certainly, here's a recipe for your recovery meal. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, so then you can use this actually to get workouts, get recipes, anything that you want to ask about your health. Maybe you have some questions about like, why am I not losing weight and I'm doing certain things. You can ask it here and you can get your answers right away. It's also a great way to just kind of display some of these features that Airtable are using, right? These side panels are pretty awesome here. So yeah, now if you're wondering how do I get this data into this system, right? So I'll attach a video I made showing you how I do this, and I just basically use the Apple Watch, or you could use your phone. With just a click of a button, you can send your data every day. So let me show you that now. Okay, so in order to get the data into the Airtable, I'm using an Apple shortcut, which is a no-code tool actually that Apple provides in order to send, the data from the health app into Airtable. So I just basically have it saved as a button on one of my complications for my Apple Watch. So every morning I just wake up and I click that button, and as you can see here, it basically, it takes a little while to run, maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, just because it's basically, getting a bunch of data and creating it into Airtable. So if you can see in the background, you can see on the computer, some of the numbers are starting to change because the data is starting to populate. In a little bit, you actually see the AI recommendation text pop up any minute. You can see my sleep already popped up. Oh, there we go. There's the AI text.